Alright, well, my name is G-Man 9997, and I just want to talk to y'all today about eating pork. This ain't a Muslim thing. Most people think automatically when you say something about not eating pork that you're automatically Muslim. No. According to the word of Yahweh, Christians not supposed to eat pork. Well, Muslims, they know the word of Yahweh. They doing what they supposed to. They not eating pork, and the Jewish people are not eating pork. So why in the world is pork in this country? This. I mean, I'm not saying the United States of America is 100% Christian, but the majority lump sum in this country is Christian and Muslim, and you got a good bit of Jewish people in here too. So why? Why, which I don't understand, why is it that pork is like the cheapest meat that you can buy? I mean, that's just, and the most, and I mean, it's bad for you, and plus, because it has a trichinaceous worm in it that goes up your spine and gets in your brain and stays in there for years and years at a time. It's not good on your health at all. It causes high blood pressure and heart complications, so far as clogged arteries, but other meats will do that too. But I say that to say this, that you got these health food stores, you got good foods, healthy for you, organic foods, no pesticides, no chemicals whatsoever, and they are the most expensive foods that you'll ever see. Alright, pork, bacon, pork, sausage, salami, pizza. I mean, pork is basically put in damn near, daggone near every food that we have. It's hard to eat anything that doesn't have pork in it. So how can we really consider ourselves Christians, Muslims, or Jews if we sitting there eating that stuff? The word of Yahweh, we ain't supposed to touch that stuff. It's unclean. I like to give I should have did it at the beginning, but I'm gonna do it anyway right now. I'm not leaving them out. All praise be to Yahweh and Yahshua HaMashiach for revealing this to me and putting it in my mind to get it out there to y'all. Now the thing is, it's terrible. A lot of the bad thing about it, when I tell Christians that I don't have to tell Muslims or Jews, because the majority, I ain't saying all of them, but I'm saying the majority of Muslims and Jews, they follow the word of Yahweh. They follow the word. They read that book. They read that book. They read the word of Yahweh. They try their best to serve Yahweh. They try their best to live by His word. They let the meditations of their mouth. They let the words of their mouth and the meditations of their heart. They try their best to let it be acceptable in God's sight. Why aren't the rest of us doing that? Now, people that's Christian, for example, and my mom, for example, she professed to be Christian. Yet I showed her in the Bible one time where it said not to eat pork. You can show a lot of Christians in the Bible where it says not to eat pork, but they still gonna eat it anyway. You claim to be a Christian, you're supposed to do what the word of Yahweh say do. You're supposed to live by the word of Yahweh, but you don't want to do that. You tell a Christian, they be like, well, I gotta see it before I believe it. Show it to them, they're in denial, and then they want to come up with this excuse. Oh, well, that's in the Old Testament. What? It's in the Old Testament. Well, if you don't want to live by what's in the Old Testament and just want to live by what's in the New Testament, then you might as well just cut the Bible in half, throw the Old Testament away, and just keep the New Testament. Nah, nah. That is the word of Yahweh right there. That's the word of Yahweh, all of it. And you're supposed to do all the way he says. The New Testament is when Yeshua HaMashiach came about. And he came about because people ain't want to do or live the way Yahweh wanted them to live. So he had to come about to show them how to walk in the way of Yahweh. But they still killed him. And most people want to say, well, Jewish people the one that his own people is the one that killed him. Well, in some of his words, he said, those who believe in me shall not perish but have everlasting life. He wasn't talking about the whole world because Yeshua HaMashiach only came here for his people, to save his people. Okay? He only came to save his people. So the thing about it is this. When he said, those of you who believe shall not perish but have everlasting life, he was talking about those Jews that believed in him, that trusted in him, you know, that wanted to walk in the way of his father the way he did. Wanted to follow after his example. But the majority of the Jews, you know, they didn't want to believe him, and they just crucified the man. And all he was doing was what his father commanded him to do, doing his job. But the thing is, Christians, you're not supposed to eat pork either. I don't care. I don't care what you believe. You're not supposed to eat pork. It's in the book. I don't care if it's the Old Testament or not. You know, Old Testament, New Testament. It's the whole daggone Bible that you're supposed to listen to. The whole Bible you're supposed to listen to. That's what the New Testament was just Jesus trying to get us back on track. People want to be hard-headed and ain't want to do what he say. So, but, you know, Jesus vouched for us and said they don't know what they're doing, man. Basically, said they don't know what they're doing, so have mercy on them. And it's a good thing, you know, I said Jesus, but I call him Yeshua. I said Jesus so you know what it means, those of you that's Christian or those of you that don't know this knowledge. Because the majority of the YouTubers know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Yahweh and the pork eating things. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the people out there that don't know. You know, lately I've been trying to get on track with Yahweh, you know, because there's power in his name. I found out that this, what we call the Sabbath, ain't even the Sabbath. Sunday ain't the Sabbath. Saturday is. There's going to be a part 2 to this because they're going to cut me off, but the thing about it is Saturday is the true Sabbath. And the days of the week, this goes into ematology. The days of the week ain't even named. The days of the week ain't even. They're deities. They're gods that we're saying. When we say this, we say the names of other gods which shouldn't even be on our tongue. For example, Moon's Day. That's the day of the moon. Sun's Day, you know, for the sun. Alright. Tui's Day. That's a god. Woden's Day. Wednesday. Thursday or Thor's Day. Everybody knows who that is. Friday, Frigga Day. That was the wife of Thor. And Saturn Day. Saturday. See, when they went to go change the days of the week, actually the days of the week didn't even have names like that. They were numbered. They had numbers. But the ones that was walking in the way of Yahweh back then, when they started to change that junk, they were scared to even mention the days of the week. So they kept on saying it by numbers. And then the actual New Year ain't even in daggone January. It's somewhere in the spring. In my opinion, I believe that it's in April. I could be wrong. I mean, please comment and correct me, you know, because if there's any information that I got wrong, please let me know. You know, don't be disrespectful about it, you know, but you know, just let me know. But from what I believe, the earth and Yahweh tells us when the new year is here. The new year is here when the plants and stuff start blooming again. When trees start getting their greenery, when grass starts to grow again, when you have animals mating, that's the new year. The new year it ain't doing no daggone winter, and no one really knows when Yeshua was really born. You have a roundabout estimate of when it is, but you don't know for sure. But the thing is, man, stop eating that pork. Stop going against the word of Yah. Shoot, you know, I got into the word, you know, kind of deep one day, and most people be like, if you tell them to stop cussing, they be like, well, that ain't in the daggone Bible. Come to find out it is. You're supposed to keep cursing and vain talk from your mouth. You're supposed to keep cursing and vain talk from your mouth, and you're supposed to stay away from a forward tongue, which and stop the backbite, which means talking back, saying stuff that might offend people. That's the forward tongue, you know. And obviously, we know what cursing is, so we're not supposed to do any of that. We're supposed to walk in the way of Yah, in the way of Yahweh, and walk after the example of His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach. You know, I mean, all praise be to Yahweh for revealing this stuff to me, because I was totally ignorant to this, just like so many of you out there are. You know, you Christians, I don't understand why you don't have a menorah in your church. In your church, you're supposed to have. I read in the Bible where they was talking about Yahweh was giving directions on the dimensions of how to build a tabernacle. All right. Well, He gave all the dimensions, and they built the tabernacle and the ark where they put the stuff in. All right. Well, He also went on to describe how to build a menorah. How to build a menorah? It was supposed to be built out of gold, you know. And He was talking about basically one candlestick holder in the middle, and 3 that comes out of each side. And so when you hear that, I mean, if you're not paying attention, you'll overlook it. But if you pay attention hard enough, you'll know it's the menorah that they're talking about. Basically, all in all, what I'm saying is this, you know, we ain't even supposed to be no Christians. And to the Muslim people out there, I mean, please don't be offended, but basically we're not supposed to be Muslim neither. We really supposed to be Jewish, because that's what Yeshua HaMashiach was. He was Jewish. The original language that we had to adapt to, not that we already had, but we had to adapt to Yahweh's language when He brought down the 10 Commandments for Moses to give to the people. It was Hebrew. It was Hebrew, and like Phil Eulogy said, he said like there was like the earliest Hebrew that was found was in North America by it was in the hands of a Seminole Indian encased in concrete. And I guarantee you, I know what kind of Hebrew it was. It was probably Paleo Hebrew at that, because that's the oldest form. This Hebrew that you see right now, that's not the original writing. That's like a new form of the Hebrew literature. But Paleo Hebrew, it looks a lot different. It looks a whole lot different. It don't look nowhere near that. But we are supposed to be Jewish. We're supposed to call on the name of Yahweh. We're supposed to call on the name of Yeshua. Not no Jesus, not God. We're supposed to call on Yahweh and Yeshua, because there's power in the name of Yahweh and Yeshua. Now, I mean,